Hollywood has long stood as the heart of glamour, where the standards of beauty seem almost unattainable. In this world, appearance is not just an asset, it's often the very foundation of a successful career. With every move under the unforgiving glare of the spotlight, actors, singers, and celebrities face constant pressure to maintain a picture-perfect image. As the years go by and the inevitable signs of aging begin to surface, many turn to cosmetic surgery, hoping to preserve their youth and stay relevant within the entertainment industry's stringent ideals of beauty. This constant pursuit of perfection has become a defining part of Hollywood's allure. But at what cost? However, not every journey under the knife results in a flawless outcome. Behind the dramatic transformations lie unforeseen consequences, faces that lose their natural expressiveness, features that appear unnaturally stiff, and the once vibrant charm that defined them begins to fade. In their quest to protect their image, some celebrities inadvertently erase the very uniqueness that made them stand out. These stories serve as a stark reminder in Hollywood. While beauty can be bought, it doesn't always preserve the essence or allure that made someone truly unforgettable. The pursuit of perfection often comes at the cost of the authenticity that once captured our attention and admiration. Hollywood stars are always under pressure to maintain a youthful appearance, but sometimes cosmetic surgeries don't turn out as expected. Do you think that sometimes celebrities should embrace their natural beauty instead? If yes, leave a comment with the number 1. If not, leave a comment with the number 0. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any other exciting videos. Now, let's dive into the story. Mae West is a prime example of going too far in the pursuit of maintaining beauty. She always wanted to look youthful and seductive, but the facelifts and filler injections seemed to have taken her down a path of no return. Her face became overly tight, almost as if it were defying gravity. Rather than enhancing and preserving the natural beauty that once made her famous, the continuous cosmetic procedures turned Mae into an unnatural image, a frozen queen with a stiff, emotionless face, lacking the softness and allure she once had. The fillers and aesthetic procedures caused parts of her face to become puffy, disrupting the balance and harmony of her features. Sadly, the desperate attempts to cling to youth only made her look more artificial and less attractive than ever. Looking back, it's clear that she was once effortlessly and naturally beautiful, which makes the transformation all the more heartbreaking. Joan Crawford is another emblematic case in the story of Hollywood and the pressures of aging. No one can deny that she was a cinematic beauty icon, and like many stars, she did not hesitate to turn to facelifts to maintain her image. However, over time, those surgeries did not deliver the results she had hoped for. Instead of preserving a graceful and alluring appearance, Joan's face seemed to be swept away by cosmetic procedures. And now the scars from her facelifts around her ears and hairline have become impossible to conceal. No matter how carefully applied, makeup could not hide those traces. The surgeries pulled her skin too tightly, leaving her face looking unnatural and stripped of softness. This appearance was a far cry from the seductive charm she once embodied, which had made her one of Hollywood's most iconic figures. The pressure of aging not only took away her natural beauty, but also turned her into a painful example of what can happen when one becomes too obsessed with fighting time. Grahame was known for her captivating smile, but she too became one of the stars affected by cosmetic surgery. Gloria placed great importance on enhancing her lips, yet the interventions she chose didn't deliver the desired results. Instead of achieving perfection, the procedures left her lips uneven and unnatural looking, disrupting the natural balance of her face. Even more disheartening, her signature smile, once a defining feature of her on-screen presence, no longer held the same charm. Gloria's story stands as a reminder that the pursuit of beauty ideals can sometimes strip away the very traits that make someone unique. The natural beauty she once possessed was what endeared her to audiences, but the unnecessary changes transformed her into a somber example of the toll cosmetic surgery can take. Hedy Lamarr, once celebrated as the most beautiful woman in the world, was not immune to the effects of aging or the relentless pressures of Hollywood. Though known for her exceptional beauty and intellect, she continually sought ways to preserve her youthful appearance. Unfortunately, the facelifts and experimental cosmetic procedures she turned to failed to restore the elegance of her earlier years. Instead, they left her face looking unnatural, stripping away the distinctive features that had made her iconic. The soft, alluring quality that once defined her look gave way to excessive alterations, making her a cautionary tale about the risks of chasing eternal youth. Then there was Zsa Zsa Gabor, who openly embraced cosmetic surgery. She underwent numerous facelifts throughout her life, but as she aged, these procedures began to take a toll. Her face became overly taut, almost as if frozen in a windstorm. The charm and glamour that once defined Zsa Zsa gradually faded, replaced by a stiff, unnatural appearance that made her seem more artificial than ever. For each of these women, the quest to stop the clock led to unfortunate choices. While surgery can be a solution for some, in these cases, it contributed to the loss of the very natural beauty and charisma that made them beloved icons. Hollywood, with its obsession with youth and perfection, can be a place where stars, desperate to hold on to their image, end up paying a heavy price. Marlene Dietrich was always at the forefront of beauty techniques. In her youth, she even used adhesive tape on her face to create a temporary lifting effect. But as she grew older, tape was no longer enough, and she turned to cosmetic surgery in an effort to maintain her youthful appearance. Unfortunately, those surgical efforts did not yield the desired results. Rather than preserving the elegance and smoothness that defined her during her prime, the procedures left her looking tense and unnatural. Her face became overly tightened, and the once soft features that exuded sophistication turned rigid and less expressive. It was a far cry from the glamorous, stylish star who once captivated the world. Marlene's story serves as a sobering reminder that even the most iconic beauties can fall victim to the overuse of cosmetic procedures in the relentless pursuit of youth. Rita Hayworth, with her fiery red hair and radiant smile, was the epitome of beauty. However, over time, rumors circulated that she had undergone a number of surgeries to keep up with the demands of beauty in the spotlight. Unfortunately, these procedures, combined with the natural effects of aging, altered the features that once radiated with charm. Her face became more rigid, losing the softness that had made her an iconic screen goddess. It was a sad transformation for someone who was once a symbol of natural beauty. The timeless look she was known for was overshadowed by the results of cosmetic changes. Rita's story serves as a cautionary tale about the pursuit of eternal youth. Sometimes, trying too hard to preserve youth can take away the very qualities that made us special in the first place. Barbara Payton was a blonde bombshell, known for her striking looks and roles in classic films like Kiss Tomorrow, Goodbye. However, as she grew older, the pressure to maintain youth in Hollywood began to take its toll on her. She turned to cosmetic surgery in an attempt to preserve her youthful appearance, but things didn't go as planned. After a series of facelifts and other procedures, the results were harsh. Rather than subtly lifting her face, the surgeries left her looking tight and unnaturally pulled. The once soft, smooth features of her face became rigid and mask-like, making her appear much older than her years. It was a sad transformation for someone who had once embodied the allure of Hollywood, highlighting how the pressures of fame can sometimes lead to decisions that are at odds with the natural aging process. This story serves as a reminder that, in the pursuit of eternal youth, even the most beautiful stars can fall victim to the unintended consequences of cosmetic surgery. Norma Harper, one of the most beautiful and captivating stars of Hollywood's golden age, was not immune to the effects of aging. However, as she grew older, the constant pressure to maintain youthful beauty under the watchful eye of Hollywood led her to seek out cosmetic surgery. It is said that she turned to aesthetic procedures in an attempt to reclaim her youthful appearance, but the results were not what she had hoped for. The facelift left her face looking tight and pulled, stripping away much of the soft elegance that had defined her before the surgery. She had naturally delicate features that made her stand out as a leading lady. After the procedure, her appearance became less graceful, with noticeable tension around her eyes and mouth. The surgery did not restore the radiant youthfulness she once had effortlessly. Instead, it left her looking somewhat artificial and stiff, far removed from the classic beauty that had secured her place in Hollywood history. Jean Seberg is best known for her iconic role in Breathless. Jean's natural beauty made her a beloved figure in French New Wave cinema. However, as she grew older, she is believed to have turned to subtle cosmetic surgery in an attempt to rejuvenate her appearance. While the procedures were not as dramatic as those of some of her Hollywood peers, they were enough to change her look. Unfortunately, the results did not meet her expectations. Despite the minimalist nature of her surgeries, Jean grew increasingly dissatisfied with her appearance. Her once fresh and youthful face began to look more rigid, and she struggled with the feeling that her beauty was no longer authentic. The small changes made her feel disconnected from her former self, and her dissatisfaction with her new look seemed to weigh heavily on her. It is a bittersweet reminder that even small changes can sometimes leave us yearning for the natural beauty we once had. Eartha Kitt, a legendary performer known for her raspy voice and strong personality, was also reported to have experimented with various skin treatments and aesthetic changes as she grew older in an attempt to maintain her youthful appearance. While the exact details of her procedures remain unclear, rumors suggest that she sought treatments to reduce wrinkles and firm her skin. Unfortunately, her efforts to preserve her youthful look did not always go as planned. Some of the treatments were said to make her face appear stiffer and less expressive, which contrasted with the dynamic and fierce persona she had long been known for. Eartha was always unapologetically herself, but it was unfortunate that her attempts to combat aging led to discomfort with her own skin. Despite these aesthetic changes, she remained a true icon. but her story highlights the challenges and risks that come with trying to hold on to something that time naturally alters. Jayne Mansfield was one of Hollywood's most prominent stars at the peak of her career. However, as the pressure to maintain a perfect image in an industry obsessed with youthful beauty grew, she turned to cosmetic procedures. Rumors circulated that she underwent multiple surgeries, including facelifts and breast augmentations, to maintain her striking and seductive appearance. While Jayne was always beautiful, some of these procedures had a noticeable impact on her look. Her once soft and feminine face became stiff and exaggerated, giving her a somewhat artificial appearance. The figure that was her signature also became more exaggerated after several surgeries, making her appearance even more extreme. Unfortunately, her attempts to maintain attention through cosmetic surgery did not yield the expected results, and she became a prime example of how the pressure to maintain a perfect image can sometimes backfire. Greta Garbo, although famously private about her personal life, was rumored to have undergone some cosmetic procedures as she aged, possibly to maintain her iconic features. It is believed that she underwent subtle treatments, including facelifts, to smooth out wrinkles and preserve her youthful appearance. However, these surgeries did not always have the desired effect. Reports suggest that these changes made her once delicate features appear a bit stiffer, and the natural beauty that was part of Garbo's mystique seemed to be stripped away. Ironically, for someone who epitomized the idea of timeless beauty, her efforts to preserve it only made her look more altered, highlighting the fine line between enhancing and losing what made her so uniquely captivating. May Wong, Hollywood's first Chinese-American star, broke boundaries in an era where racial prejudice was rampant. While her talent was undeniable, the pressure to conform to a certain Hollywood image was immense. She faced pressure to subtly alter her features to make herself more acceptable for leading roles in an industry predominantly white. There have been rumors that she underwent procedures such as eyelid surgery, a popular treatment for Asian actresses at the time to achieve a more Western appearance. Although she never publicly confirmed these rumors, her appearance did change over the years, leading to speculation that she had undergone these modifications to expand her opportunities in Hollywood. Tragically, while these changes may have aided her career, they also serve as a painful reminder of the racial biases many Asian actors had to contend with and the sacrifices they often had to make to fit in. May Wong's story remains poignant, illustrating both her intelligence and the racial pressures of old Hollywood. Lucille Ball, known as the Queen of Comedy, was famous for her infectious personality and hilarious facial expressions that made anyone laugh. However, as she aged, there were rumors that she turned to facelift surgery to maintain her youthful appearance. Unfortunately, these procedures did not go as expected. Her face began to look much tighter, and fans couldn't help but notice that the expressive features that had once been her trademark became stiffer. Lucille's natural charm and comedic magic could not be fully captured by surgery alone. Her face seemed a bit overdone compared to the ease she once exuded. Despite this, she will always be remembered for her comedic genius and the unforgettable charm of the redhead. Lucille Ball's story is a clear reminder that sometimes Natural beauty and talent cannot be replaced by cosmetic interventions, no matter how hard we try to preserve youth. Dorothy Lamour was one of Hollywood's standout stars, famous for her adventurous roles and widely admired for her beauty at the peak of her career. However, as time passed, she chose to undergo a few cosmetic surgeries, including facelifts. Unfortunately, these procedures did not enhance her natural beauty as expected. Instead, they made her look more stiff, and the flawless features that once made her so captivating started to appear somewhat unnatural. Dorothy's story serves as a reminder that no matter how hard we try, age and beauty don't always align with surgery. Nonetheless, Dorothy's legacy as a Hollywood icon remains strong, and she will forever be remembered for her timeless presence on screen. If you found this story interesting and want to discover more surprising stories, don't forget to hit like, share the video, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any other exciting videos. Now, let's move on to the next character. As Ava Gardner aged, she admitted to turning to cosmetic surgery, particularly facelifts, in an effort to maintain her youthful radiance. Unfortunately, the results were not always as she had hoped. The surgeries left her looking tense, far from the softness that she was once known for at the height of her career. Her previously relaxed beauty now seemed more artificial, and the changes were hard to ignore. Ava's story serves as a cautionary tale, showing that even the most beautiful stars can sometimes fall victim to the pressure of trying to hold on to youth forever. Debbie Reynolds, known for her charming girl-next-door allure, was always a favorite in Hollywood. However, like many stars, she felt the pressure to maintain her youthful appearance. This led her to undergo several cosmetic surgeries over the years. She is believed to have had facelifts, eyelid surgery, and even a nose job, all in hopes of preserving her youthful look. Although she never lost her beauty, some of the work became apparent, especially in the later years. Her face appeared a little tighter, and the natural softness she was known for seemed somewhat diminished. She remained lovable, but the changes were noticeable, reminding us that even Hollywood's brightest stars are not immune to the pursuit of eternal youth. Tippi Hedren, best known as Alfred Hitchcock's muse, was once the epitome of grace and elegance. As her career slowed in later years, she reportedly turned to cosmetic surgery in an attempt to maintain her youthful appearance. Facelifts were rumored to be part of the mix. However, the results were not as expected. Instead of preserving her natural beauty, the surgeries left her with a stiff appearance. Her face became taut and less expressive, far removed from the soft, alluring features she had in her prime. This serves as a reminder that the pursuit of youth can sometimes go too far. Catherine Deneuve, one of the most iconic French actresses, is renowned for her timeless beauty and elegance. Over the years, she has reportedly chosen a few cosmetic procedures to maintain her appearance. However, some of these surgeries did not go as expected. While she has always been praised for her sophistication, facelifts and other enhancements gave her a more rigid, less natural look. Her once soft features became more rigid, which critics argue took away the natural allure that made her a Hollywood legend. This is a prime example of how the pursuit of eternal youth can sometimes change the very thing that made a star's name. Maureen O'Hara, known for her fiery red hair and intense roles in Hollywood classics, was beloved by fans for her natural beauty. However, later in life, she was rumored to have opted for a facelift in an attempt to turn back time. Unfortunately, the results did not align with the vibrant allure she was once famous for. The surgery left her face looking taut and more rigid than what her fans remembered. While she maintained her stunning figure, the procedure altered the soft features that had always been a key part of her charm. This serves as a reminder that sometimes less is more when it comes to preserving the signature radiance of a star. Deborah Kerr, with her refined and elegant beauty, won the hearts of audiences on the big screen. Over time, she was rumored to have turned to some cosmetic procedures in an effort to maintain a youthful appearance while aging gracefully. Overall, the surgeries did not fully align with her natural features, but instead subtly enhanced her look. However, they made her appear slimmer and more alluring. This work, however, garnered attention in a way that did not quite match the gentle charm she was known for. This is one of the cases where the attempt to preserve beauty can sometimes have the opposite effect, making it difficult to recognize the familiar face we once adored. Raquel Welch, famous for her stunning and sultry beauty, underwent several facelifts and other cosmetic procedures to maintain her youthful radiance. While these surgeries certainly helped her maintain a fresh appearance, the results sometimes appeared a bit too tight, making her features seem more rigid. Though she still looked incredible, it was evident that the natural softness that once contributed to her allure during her peak years had changed. Jaclyn Smith, always a head-turner, is said to have undergone a few subtle procedures to maintain her youthful appearance. While she still looks stunning, some feel that the work has begun to alter her natural elegance. It gives her a slightly different vibe than before, a delicate balance between maintaining youthfulness and preserving her natural allure. However, it's clear that the surgery has had a noticeable effect over time. Ava Gabor, always impeccably dressed and living a high society life, was rumored to have turned to facelifts and other cosmetic procedures over the years to maintain her youthful appearance. However, these surgeries began to affect the face that was once known for its soft, graceful features, making it appear much firmer and stretched. Some fans even felt that this work made her look somewhat overdone, stripping away the natural elegance she was so famous for. The radiant, natural beauty she had in her prime was replaced with something more artificial, still alluring, but not quite the same as before. As she aged, it was said that she turned to facelifts in an attempt to keep up with the natural aging process. While these procedures helped her maintain a youthful appearance, they came with unintended side effects over time. Her once friendly, welcoming face began to look less approachable, and the warmth that had made her so endearing gradually faded. Some felt that, in trying to smooth away the years, she lost the natural charm that had made her so special. While she still looked great, there was something about the subtle changes that felt slightly off, as if the original spark had been dimmed just a little. Shirley Temple, the embodiment of childhood innocence in the eyes of millions, grew up to find herself under the public's scrutiny. Like many other Hollywood stars, she felt the pressure to maintain her youthful appearance as she entered her later years. Shirley was said to have undergone several facelifts, hoping to preserve the radiant, youthful look that had made her a global icon. However, these surgeries did not unfold exactly as she had hoped. Instead of retaining her natural charm, they left her looking slightly different, not quite as the fans remembered her. The tension from the facelift procedures altered her face in a way that seemed unnatural. While she still had that familiar sparkle in her eyes, the soft, youthful appearance had faded. The once bright, cheerful girl had transitioned into someone who looked older than her years, but in a way that didn't quite feel right. It was a bittersweet transformation. Fans who had admired her as the little girl dancing her way into everyone's hearts couldn't help but notice the stark contrast. Shirley Temple, the happy child star, had become someone almost unrecognizable. And while she remained undeniably beautiful, the surgeries changed her in a way that didn't quite align with the image people had loved. She was known for undergoing facelifts and other cosmetic procedures to maintain her youthful appearance. Because, let's be honest, Hollywood doesn't really reward aging gracefully. While Joan still looked stunning, some couldn't help but notice that her face started to appear a little too tight, almost as if frozen in time. The smooth, youthful look she pursued wasn't always natural, replacing the timeless, soft beauty she had once been known for. At times, her features seemed a bit overdone, a little stiff, but Joan didn't really care about what others thought. She was open about her surgeries, and she wore her work like a badge of honor. It was just part of the game in Hollywood. So, even though she no longer had the natural beauty she once did, the way she had, she certainly maintained the confidence that had made her an icon for decades. If you find this story fascinating and full of interest, don't forget to hit like, share the video with your friends and those around you so they can learn about it too. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts with us. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any other exciting videos. Thank you for watching till the end, and we look forward to seeing you in the next videos.